Good afternoon and welcome to today's video tutorial, PHP tutorial. Uh, Today we're going to look at PHP date. What does it do? Let me show you something. Um, I'm going to type in time function now. I want to echo time function or timestamp and see what it's going to give us. You see what we are having here? This is today's date in seconds. Nobody can solve this problem. Nobody, no matter how intelligent you are, you can't read this. You can't read this one. You can't read it to know the today's date, the seconds, and the rest things. So this date you are seeing, this number of seconds is from 1970 till date. This is number of seconds, 1970, 1st January till date. So that will give us today's date. Now, what the date function come to solve is to make it human readable. So that if you look at this date, today is May 8th, 2024. So I can read it now. But if it is that long um number, if it is this, I don't know how I'm going to read it. So what the date come to solve is to make it human readable. This is 12 a.m. now. Sorry, 12 p.m. now on 8th of May 2024. Now, let me comment this one out. Let me echo this guy and see what it's going to give us. It's going to give us an error. So you can see we have an error because we need to pass in parameter. This is day, this is month, and this is year. So we need to pass in this parameter to display those things. Now the first parameter we pass in is year. Now this year is, if you want to get it in, this is capital letter. It can be capital letter Y and it can be small letter y. If you want to get this date in 4 digits like this one, you pass in small capital letter Y. But if you want to just get it in 2 digits, you pass in small letter y. So now the second parameter is m. So it can be small letter, it can be capital letter. So in this capital letter, you get something like we are in May, you get something like May, June, July, July. So to December and the rest. So that is just it. So this then, but if you want it in small letter, it can also be small letter. So if you want to get it some letter, you get something like this. This is 05. This is what you are going to get. Now, if you look at this, if you look at this letter, this is May. This is May. So this is what you're going to give you when you pass in um, capital letter M. But if you pass in small letter m, so you see down here now, if you see this date, it's giving you 05. So this is what it's going to give. It's going to give you 05. If it is May, we are in May now. So if it is June, we're going to give you 06. If it is July, it's going to give you 07. Now the last one I'm going to pass in is okay, so not the last. So we have another parameter called D. So if you pass in D, it's going to give you the name of the week. It's going to give you the name of the week. For instance, now I have today we are in Wednesdays. So this is Wednesday. So it's going to give us Wednesday just in 3 um, um, character. So if it is Thursday, it's going to give us something like this. Yeah. So if it is Tuesday, it's going to give you something like this. So that's how it passes. But it's going to be in, they're going to start with capital letter. Now, if what of you have a small d, so we can still pass in small d. So this small d will give us in integer. So 08, like what you are seeing here, this is 08. So this is small letter d. So we can have something like 09 or 010. So some month ends in 31, some 30, and February is 20, some month, some years like leap year in February is 29. So that is what it give us. So when we pass in this one, it give us like this. So when we pass this small letter m, it give us in digit. Then day give us in Wednesday. Um in So then when we pass in D, so it will give us 0109. So this is the day of the month. So it give us the day of the month. Then the last one we pass in is small letter L. So what the small letter L do is it will give us the name of the day, the name of the week. Now if I hover this, you see it's giving us Wednesday. So this is this Wednesday. So this is what give us this Wednesday is this small letter L. So if it is Thursday, it's going to give us. So now with this we have Wednesday, Wednesday. So with this week, we can date can be read, date will be readable, and we can read it. So compared to that long integer. And so now these are things we pass in as a parameter. So let's make it formal now. Let's make it formal now. So now this is my date function, and I told you pass in parameter. So now before I go, this two this parameter is divided into two. What we call format. Then the second one is timestamp. Now this format is this um y m d. You are seeing, okay. Let me see what I mean by format. So now I have my parameter. Now let me pass in my parameter. The first one is y. The second one is what? Month. So let me pass in my small y. Then the second one is the third one is what? D. Then the last one is L. Hmm? Is it not what we did? Okay, let us even start from here. Um, let's start from here. Let's pass in our small L from here. So then we have something like this. What is this timestamp? This one. What is this for? I told you we have 4 months. Okay, let me even bring this one. Okay, sorry. We have 4 months. Then we have a timestamp. Now, what happened here is this. This number, we are going to calculate today's date based on the number of seconds from 1960. So from 1970 for January. If you don't provide this number of seconds, there is no way it is going to calculate this one. Because we are telling it as, okay, this is the number of seconds I can't read it. Please put this thing in this format for me. Now, if you don't present, if this one is not there, it's not going to work. Now, but you know what? If you are displaying, if you want it to display the current date, today's date, you don't need to provide this timestamp. It's by default there. It's there by default. It is there by default. Now, for instance, now I leave it like this. Let me echo it and see. Let me echo it and see. Now, this is exactly what to do. I told you this one is for the name of the week. Oh, I hope this is L. Small letter L. Okay. Now, this is Y for our year. This is M for our month. Now, I told you if you don't provide the timestamp, the number of seconds from January, so which is this one, which I show you earlier. I show you earlier when I echo this one. Now, if let me put it that number of seconds from that time, and let's see what is going to happen. So what I'm saying is this: please use this one to calculate this one for me. My year, my month, my day. Use this one, use this use this number of seconds from 1970 to date to calculate it for me. Let load and see what is going to happen here. Okay, sorry. Um, I need to comment this one out first before. Um, so let me comment this one out. So you see what is happening now. From you can see now we have this guy. So we have today is 2024 05 08 as what you are seeing here. And you cannot see, is it not the same date? So we are seeing here. So if I decided to change this one now, this one to capital M, so it's going to give me that May. You are seeing. So that's what exactly what I told you before. You can now see this is May 08, Wednesday 2020, 2024. Now, what did I say? I said use this number of seconds to calculate this guy for me. If this one is not there, it will not work. That's what I do. But if you are using the current time, you can remove it. You see. Now I have removed it now. Let's see if it's not going to work. You see, if you are correct, if you are using by default is there. PHP put it by default. You don't need to put it. If you are on the condition that you are calculating current time and date, current time and date. So that is when you remove it. That is when by default that timestamp is there. So and that is what we are seeing here. So we can see with this one now, those long this second now. So let me echo this guy and see. So this is the number of seconds. It is this one that is translated to this one. So don't forget it. Don't forget it. So it is this one. So let me comment this one outside for you. Let me comment this one out for you. So this is how to get date. So now for instance now we have what of time? What of time? Now let's have our time. So in time again, we pass in parameter like h. H is for capital H is from time is from 0 to 24. That is 24 hours. So if you want it 24 hours, we use capital H, this capital H to 23. Then if you need it if you want it from 0 to 11, that is 12 hours, then we use small letter h. So that is from 00 to 11. Sorry, not 12. Then another parameter we pass in for seconds. For seconds. For this is minutes. So we pass in minutes. So now we're going to use I for minutes. So don't worry. Why do you use I? Why not M? So we have already used M here. So there is no need. So we decide. So now we for in PHP, this one represent I. A minute represent I. So and we know from our time we have 0 to we have 60 minutes. So then that is 0 to 59. Now we have then seconds. We have our second. So second is the same thing from 0 to 59. So because we have 60 seconds. Then I want it to display either AP, AM or PM. So we use our use A to display it. Now if I decided to pass now, let us pass in this one inside our date now, inside our date function now. So let's have our date function. Let me write it. So this is our date function now. So I told you that this date function helps us to display those numbers in seconds, those long digits in human readable time. So let us pass in hours now. So look, we are going to let's use 24 hours. That is age. Then we know how we write our time. We have our column. Then our I, which is our minutes. Then we have our S, so which is our second. Then we pass in our either AM or PM, that is A. So now if I echo this guy, So let me echo this guy and see what it's going to give us. So we can see. Okay, let me remove this. Let me let me remove this one. Then I think, okay. So let me remove this one. So we can now see now we have 13. That is there is 1 hour difference here. 12, 13 14 0 4. If you look at this time, if you look at this time, it's 12 um 14. So which is 1 hour difference. So what it means is this: where the server is located is different from where this my laptop is now. So for me to cover this one, to tell server, oh sorry, this is where this laptop is, and I want you to use this time of this laptop. So what I'm going to do is to set a default, what they call a default date, default, sorry, default time zone set. So I have to set the zone where I am now. Currently I'm in Africa. Currently I'm in Africa. And where is the location? I'm in Lagos, Africa. So this is the continent and the country where you are. So I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. So let's see now. If it's going to, you can see there's different of this thing. So let's see now. You can see we get 12 here now. So we get 12 here now. 12, 15. So we still get this one here. So we can see the whole thing is in PM now. So we can see we have our A is showing the PM. So that is how times we can now, you can see from that seconds we can have our human, we can read our time and date. Now having know this, so we're going to look at another thing. We call it MKT time. This will help us to know the date past and the future date. If you want to know the future date, if you want to know the event of the past, what date at a particular what time, or for instance now, I want to know the year I was born. The year I was born. Now, no, the very week, the name of the week, or maybe on Tuesday, Monday, I was born. This can help me to know it, either the future or the past. Now, this one, now let me echo it. Let me echo this one and see. So let me echo this one. Oh, it's giving me an error. Do you know what? I need to pass in parameter. I need to pass in parameter. Now, this one always has 6 parameter. 6 parameter. Now, the parameter are hour, minute, second, month, day, and the year. These are 6 parameters that are passing. Now, let me, maybe I was born around 12. Then 12 a.m. Then 12 a.m. at about what seconds? 45 seconds. Sorry, 45 minutes. 30 seconds. Then the month. So April 4th. April 4th. Then April 4th, the day of the month that is on the 4th, 1990. So you don't need to pass in 1990. You don't need to do like this. So you just pass in the last 2 digits. Now, let me echo this one. So let's see. You see, now this, what is this one showing you? It's showing you the number of seconds from 1970 till 1990 where I was born. Because it will use that number of seconds to calculate this date. Like what happened before I told you, this date we calculated is from the current number of seconds. But now, if you want to use this one now to calculate this date, this is the millis. This one appear in millisecond now. Okay. Now this is the number of second from 1990 till that time I was born. So the date is going to calculate from this, the hour, the date, the month, the year, from this millisecond now. I hope you understand now. So it's going to calculate from this one now. So if I am going to give this one, if I'm going to tell date to calculate it for me, I am not going to use the current time. I am going to use this timestamp, this number of second, give it to the year, pass into the function. Okay, let me practicalize it now. That's okay. This is birthday. Now I want to show you something. Now, I want you to read this in. Now, this is the day I was born. This is the day. Now, it's giving me the number of seconds now. How do I know now? Okay, I refuse. I didn't echo it now. So look at the number of seconds it gave me. Hmm? Now, how do I? Let me echo. Let me see echo it. Let me echo it. Now, this is the number of seconds I was born from 1990. Now, from 1970 to 90. So this is the number of seconds. Now, let us now how it is only the date format that can tell us this in date and in time. So what we're going to do now is we are going to pass in this date. So we now have date. We now have date. Now, so we now have date. Let us pass our maybe okay. I want to know the name of the day of the week. If you look at when we use the day of the week, we use small letter L. Now let us echo the day of the week. I want to know that very day I was born. I want to know that very particular the name of the day of the week which I was born. Either I was born on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So let me have it now. So let's see what it's going to give us now. If I pass in this one, if I echo this one now, it's going to give me the current date. If I echo this, so I have to pass in this number of millisecond. Hmm? This is the number of millisecond. I have to pass in here. I have to pass in here. So what am I going to do now? So okay, let me pass in my birthday. So the number of millisecond from 1970 to that day. So this is what I'm going to pass in now. So once I pass in, so if I leave this one, it's going to give me the current date. So I have to pass in this one now to so that from there it will calculate it and give me this my this thing. So so let us echo it now and see what happens. You can now see on Wednesday. I was born on Wednesday. So I can just even say, okay, uh, I was born on Wednesday. I was born on Wednesday. So let me just put my concatenation. So you can see I was born on Wednesday. So I don't need to repeat Wednesday. So I was born on Wednesday. So see, I was born on Wednesday. You can see how it works now. So now what happened here is this. This is the number of seconds. It only give you the number of seconds. So what the date does is to format it to human readable form that you can read. So I pass in the day I was born, the time and the hour. So I now okay, I want you to format it for me. So I now pass in those number of seconds here. And that is from the number of seconds now. For instance, if I want to see the day, the year, I now press okay, Y, M, and okay, let's say okay, D. Okay. Um okay, let's see what it's going to give us. You see, this is I was born on I was born on April 4th, 1990. You can see what it's giving me now. So because what happened here is this from this numbers of milliseconds I passed in here. It will now calculate and give me the month. It will calculate and give me the year. It will calculate and so the month and give me calculate and give me the year. If I refuse, okay, let me echo this one now. Let me remove it. It's going to give me the current date because it will use the current timestamp, the current milling number of seconds from 1970 to date. So let echo it now. See, so it's giving me 24th of May 1908, so which is today's date. So for me to pass in the number of millisecond, sorry, number of seconds which represent the number of seconds from 1970 to the day I was born. So I have to pass in this number of milliseconds. So the number of seconds, sorry, I'll continue to repeat this stuff. So you can now see, so I have to pass in to give me the exactly date which I presented. So what happened here is this thing appear in second. So I want this one. Okay, what I now said is use this number of millisecond to calculate this year, month, and this for me. So that is how it works. So that is what um the MKT function represents. So you can even use it the future. You can use it to get the future. For this, and I set it to 2029 and the rest to get the future date and times, and even the occurred the past event that occurred. So I can use it all. So that is how you pass in the parameter 2222, so in 2 digits. So don't try to maneuver it. So that is how it works. Now, having know this, so let us look at what they call string to time. Now, this is a string. This is our string. Let us have our string like this. String to time. String to time. String to time. Now, tomorrow. The tomorrow is a string. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. I hope I get the spelling correct. Tomorrow. I want to get the date of tomorrow. What is today tomorrow? Okay, today is 8. Tomorrow should be 9. But now say tomorrow. Now, let me show you another thing now. Tomorrow now, if I echo this one now, it's going to give me the number of seconds from 1970 January till tomorrow. Let's see what is going to happen. You see, it's giving me this number of seconds. Now, what am I going to do now? I want to pass in. I will pass this one now inside date. Now, okay, now, so okay, let me pass. Let me give. Let me Okay, it's okay. Let's say okay, okay. Let me use this thing. Then, and I want to get this date. I want to get it in a human readable form. I can't get. Can you read this guy? Can you read this guy? You can read it. So what do I do? For me to format it, I have to use the date function. Now I will pass into parameter. I will pass into two. Yes, I group it into two. The format. So the format is going to be like this. Okay, let's have our date format. So what is the first thing that is going to pass in? So I will pass in. It can be month. It can be anything you want to pass in. So I now pass my year. Now I now pass my month. I now pass my day. You can see this thing now. Now, if I echo this one now, I want to tell the computer. I want to tell computer, okay. Now, I want you to echo this millisecond. From this millisecond, which is this one, use it to calculate this one. So I now pass my millisecond here. So why am I saying millisecond for God's sake? So now, you understand what I'm saying now? Now, from this one, this number of seconds, use it to calculate this one for me. If I refuse to pass in, so it means I'm telling you to use the current to use the current seconds to calculate this one. But I have passed in, and so I want to get, since I calculate this number of seconds till tomorrow for me. So let's see what happens now. Let's say what is going to give. So you must pass in the number of seconds. So you want it to calculate the time for you. Now you see, tomorrow is 9 May. So we have you can see, you can even be a witness. This one is 08. So tomorrow is going to be 09 May 2024. So you can see, even you can even put it next year. You can say okay, look here, let's say let me make it last year. last year, last year. So this is a string. You know this is a string. This is a string. So I want to convert this string. I want to make this string so readable. So what is last year? Now, if I echo this one now, it's going to give me the numbers of milliseconds. Sorry, number of seconds from 1970 to last year. Now, what from this one? I'll now pass this one. And I say, okay, from this one number of seconds, use it to calculate this month, calculate the year, and calculate this thing for me. So let's see what it's going to give us. Let us see what it's going to give us. You can see 2023 May 04 or 08. So you can see this is exactly date for the last year. In the same way, I can still use I can use my you can even pass in hour. You can pass in hour. For instance, now if I want to pass in my hour, for instance, I'll use my hour. I'll use my sorry. Let me use hour. So you can see, uh, you can see, you can see. So that is how it works. That is how it works. So that is how it works. So if I remove my date function, so um, if I remove my this too, so so you can see this, because of I remove my date function. So this is, so I can still remove. I can still put more of this one. So my minis and my second and my a. So which is going to give us this. So you can see this is 30, this in 30 uh, for the last year. So you can pass anything, you can pass those parameters and it will work for you. So what happened is it, so you give it, okay, this is the last year. This last year is a string. We have dealt with string and you understand what the string is about. String as sequence of character. So I want this thing now to be in a human readable form. So I now put inside it, then pass in the number of seconds, so which I want it to calculate and present it for me. So that is how it works. So I think um, we have done justice to this um, tutorial. So if there's anything, so we are valuable. So we need your comment. We need to please subscribe so that you encourage us for more of it. So thank you and God bless you.